Hey y'all, welcome to Horse Range Mountain Farms. I'm Nathan. Today we're out in the garden cutting okra. When you cut okra, you grab the okra pod and you cut it and the limb that comes off of it, and that lets it put energy into the plant to produce okra instead of all the leaves.
Alright, we got the okra picked from the garden. We're fixing to wash it off. So if you get a piece of okra and it's hard to cut like that, that's the one you want to throw away or save for seed. You want it to be real easy to cut like that. You also want to make sure to take that top off. Throw it to the side. Feed it to your chickens or something like that. So we got all the okra cut up. Now we're going to put them in the mason jars. I'm using quart jars for this one. So now I'm going to add 1 gallon of water. Add 6 tablespoons of white vinegar. Then I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of plain salt. And then I'm going to bring this to a boil, and then I'm going to add 1 gallon of clean cut okra. So now the water's boiling, we're going to add our okra. So we've added the okra. Once it boils for about 6 minutes, then we're going to turn the heat off, and you'll notice once it starts to change colors too. And that's when you want to turn the heat off. Once we turn the okra off, we're going to add them to our hot, clean quart jars. Then we're going to fill them maybe about 3/4 way full, but we're not going to overpack them because we don't want the okra to break in two. Did you know that you could eat raw okra? It's pretty good with a little bit of salt on it. So now we're putting our jars in the oven at 250 to get those warm for about 10 minutes to 15. Then we'll bring those out and put the hot okra in them. Okay, so the okra's changed color. As you can see, the red okra has turned green. Now we're going to take the okra and put them in our hot jars that we just got out of the oven. Then we're going to place the lids and rings on them. And then we're going to wait for them to seal. Okay, so you can see the okra is really hot. And then we just got our jars out of the oven, so they're really hot. Now we're going to package the okra into the jars. When we package the okra into the jars, we're going to make sure to use a slotted spoon like this, because we don't want any of the juice going in with the okra just yet. This is the way I do it. I use this slotted spoon and then a 4-cup measuring cup. Just reach down in here and scoop some up, and then I'll drain the water off of it. And then I'll put it in the jar. You don't want to push the okra down because you don't want to break it. So now I've got the okra in the jars. Now I'm going to heat the juice back up, and once it starts to boil, then I'm going to pour it over my okra. Then I'll put the lids on and the rings and wait for them to seal. Okay, so we put the hot liquid in the jars with the hot jars, put the lids and rings on, and we flipped it upside down. And here's one that's already sealed. You can see that it's flat. Alright, so I'm going to show you how we save our seeds. And it's very important for you to save seeds so then you can plant more for the next year. Okay, so we're just using a little bench that's got little holes in it so that the air will flow through it. This is what we do is we put it outside on our back porch, and it's still green as you can see, but these are the ones that are hard that we can't cut. So then we leave them out here and we'll come out and turn them every few days, and then after several days then they'll dry up like this, and then you can hear the seeds rattling in there, and then that one's not quite done yet. But anyways, once you know that they're all dried out and you can hear the seeds rattling, then you can crack them open and save those seeds. Once we pop the lids, we're going to shake this in here and drain all of the slime off of them. You can even rinse them off a little bit, is what I do. Alright, so now that I've drained them and rinsed it off, I'm going to put them in this bowl right here. And then I'm going to move it right here. We'll put the egg in there. Now we're going to get it coated real good. Then we're going to add a little bit of cornmeal. A little bit of salt. We're going to mix it up. You may have to add a little bit of more cornmeal because you want it to be coated pretty good. I'm getting the pan good and hot. Put the oil in it. Coat the bottom good. And you may have to add a little bit more olive oil while you're cooking because you don't want it to start sticking real bad. Okay, so we know the pan's hot because we got a little bit in there and it's sizzling. So we're going to go ahead and put all this okra in there. Like I said, you may need to add a little more olive oil as you're cooking it. Alright, so we're turning the okra, and when you see it start to brown up like that, you know it's time to turn it all over. Alright, so as you can see, the okra has soaked up most of the oil. So at this point, when your pan looks like this, you want to add some more olive oil.
Not quite done, but it's almost there.
Alright, so when the okra gets done, what we do is we take it, we scoop it out and put it in a bowl with paper towels, and it kind of drains all the grease off of it.